Okay, well, we'll take why don't we take the renderings as group exhibit, whatever it is, 4, 5. The value of these renderings is, I'm not sure what the value is.
Sure. And then the final exhibit is just with traffic information.
Which one of these, oh, it's still coming? All right, go right ahead, sir.
Thank you very much. As I said, my name is Ryan Battistoni. I'm with Timber Hill Group. We are the contract buyer for 27 West 364 North Avenue, approximately 16.3 acres in DuPage County. A little history on the site. We have been under contract to purchase the site since, I believe, mid-September. Are in the final stages of our due diligence for that purchase. And have an intent in presenting to the board tonight for a build a suit for a tenant that we have in hand, which is a partnership we have with a trucking company on a national level doing build suits for their needs. The property in question is zoned OR, and recently the county has approved use for truck parking out there. As you may or may not be aware, the facility is currently gravel, not fully secured, no stormwater detention, and meets all the minimum code requirements for that use. Our intention is to build a purpose-built truck transload facility for a company by the name of Main Freight Logistics. They are a New Zealand-based trucking company located currently in Franklin Park, Illinois, looking to relocate their Illinois hub. Their executive North American team is going to be relocating out of California into this location with them. Main Freight Global Logistics is a global logistics provider, as I said, offers managed warehousing, domestic cross-border transport, and international freight forwarding. They have teams and facilities globally in Australia, Asia, Europe, New Zealand, and the Americas. And they're on a path right now with a 100-year plan, continuing to grow their footprint globally with a special focus in expanding warehousing and transport in North America. As I said, the site is currently zoned and entitled for gravel truck parking. We view this use as an improvement over that. We would eliminate the gravel component, go full concrete on the site or asphalt, precast construction of a footprint of about 47,000 square feet with 81 dock positions. That's a floor area ratio of 0.07%. We feel that this use not only is a higher and better use than the current use, but also in time reduces activity on the site in terms of daily activity in and out. We have intentions to expand and improve Morton Road to facilitate safety. Our intent would be to engage with IDOT to signalize the intersection of Morton and North Avenue. And if you'd like, we can go through the exhibits now.
Right. Okay, do it. Just proceed as you see fit.
Okay. Really, we just wanted to put a few drawings in front of you to help you visualize our vision for the site. We are actively in the development with this prospect in Fort Worth, Texas, as well as another location in Illinois. And the renderings that were included were just an example of the type of building that they like to construct. They're very focused on environmental and LEED initiatives. When and where appropriate, they have to focus on solar and gray water collection, and very much prefer off-grid style construction. So this would be proposed on a well and septic system, which has been designed into the facility with the appropriate capacity in mind. And really aims to be the central hub for their Illinois operations. With that, I'd say I turn it over to any, site-specific questions that we might have for us.
That concludes your presentation?
Yes, sir.
I don't have any questions.
I don't.
Anybody have any questions, Mr. Murphy?
Yeah.
You want the microphone?
No,
Yes, please.
I'd like more information on what type of improvements you're gonna make to Morton Road. As far as widening it and so forth. To make the trucks be able to get in and out, that they're not, yeah, and they're not affecting the traffic of the citizens going up and down that road. Cause that's just a 2-lane road, and especially if they have a locked gate there, the trucks will be sitting out on Morton Road.
yes, sir. So there are code minimum requirements when you improve a facility like this for truck traffic. We would allow, or is there a minimum width we would expand that to?
I'm not sure what the counts are. I'm not exactly sure what the highway commission, like the township highway department would require on the width on this, but it's likely to go to 3 lanes. So you have a full northbound lane, a full southbound lane, and then a turn lane down the middle, at least through the front of this property. And then a traffic study in coordination with IDOT will also identify any improvements that are necessary at the intersection, be it any additional turn lanes that may be required, dedicated left turn lane, you know, on the southbound to eastbound turn maneuvers, or if there's a need because of stacking of vehicles that want to go eastbound for any kind of a right turn, a dedicated right turn to westbound, that'll all be flushed out through a traffic study that's going to need to be done with and approved and reviewed through the county and the Illinois Department of Transportation.
I believe conversations we had with the county thus far will be improving Morton Road all the way to the northern boundary of the site. Right in and right out only on the first entrance, and then all truck traffic pushed to the north entrance. That would not be a gated entrance at the lot, so there would be queuing lanes for trucks to get off of Morton Road. Our main concern was any vehicles, you know, hindering movement off of north on Morton, which we think is a big deal. You're welcome.
Right, the reason I don't have any questions is that your presentation is wholly inadequate. And it's not our practice to make the presentation on behalf of the petitioner by asking all of the questions that are required for us to understand whether to appropriately consider a conditional use. This comes to us on a special urgent basis with a request to conduct a recommendation meeting this evening because this is for some reason urgent. It hasn't, I don't understand why, but I presume that it is. I'd like to understand what the urgency is to determine whether we should give you another hearing in order to make a zoning presentation. What's the urgency, first of all? You're a contract purchaser?
That's not really the urgency for us. We petitioned with the county, knowing that we're basically looking for a recommendation to allow for vertical construction on the site. We're not looking to change any zoning. OR zoning, which is in place, allows for this use. What we're looking for is approval to go vertical. In our opinion, the existing entitlements.
My question was, why are we here for a special zoning hearing with a request to hold a special urgent recommendation meeting? Because my thought is that we should give you an opportunity to make a zoning presentation.
We are looking to move forward as fast as possible.
And so is everybody that has a piece of property.
Yes, sir.
What's the, do you have a contract contingency deadline or
So
something?
we have a contract that's under due diligence through the 20th of this month. This approval is not a contingency of that.
Okay, so there is no urgency. You want us to vote this tonight based on the presentation you made, or would you
I
like
was
to have
told we
another?
were not gonna have a vote tonight. Yeah.
Well, at the time that we made that decision, there weren't enough members here to follow our normal practice to have voting sessions with at least 4 or 5 members present. So we like to give petitioners an opportunity to have the best opportunity for a favorable consideration. That requires 4 votes. There's only 4 people here. The chances are somewhat less that you would get 4 out of 4. So our thought was we would hold it Thursday night, which wouldn't have affected your schedule as the matter proceeds to the development committee. So we have a meeting Thursday night in any case. But I mean, I'll do whatever you like. If you want us to consider, if you want to rest your case now, you can do so, but you just haven't presented enough for us to materially consider this, impose proper decisions. You refer to a fact that at some time in the future, a traffic study will be forthcoming. Well, we take those traffic studies at this hearing, at these public hearings, and evaluate the traffic considerations and perhaps impose conditions. And many other things. So how do you want to proceed? I mean, you can proceed, and whatever happens here, you can argue the case to the development committee. Why don't we, well, what's your pleasure?
I will happily come back and we can, regroup on my end and I can prepare something more, sound for you.
Yeah, I want to know, you should confer with our staff to find out the kind of things that are usually presented and the conditions that flow from that information. Hours of operation, the renderings are meaningless to us because you're not compelled to build in accordance with these renderings. So can I ask one of our staff members to give us a future date for what's the next open Thursday? I'm not available. I've already arranged to be out of town on last week of January, but I could appear by telephone. Why don't we go off the record and you can talk with the staff and talk with the petitioner. It's fine. For a convenient date for the petitioner. Okay. I hope so. Okay, is the 26th of January adequate for you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. We'll continue this matter to January 26th, and that will occur at 6 o'clock in this room. It's likely, well, I'll be in Arizona dealing with some other property matters. And I will try to appear by phone, but I won't conduct the hearing. Now, are there any members of the public that are here that wish to testify this evening? Okay, here's the way we work that. I don't know exactly what the details of this are. If you are available to appear on the 26th, my suggestion is that you present your information on the 26th. You can also do that by Zoom conference or telephone if you're not able to appear. If you can't appear, you can make your position known tonight, but you only get one opportunity to testify in these cases as a member of the public. And ordinarily, it seems that you really ought to hear what the petitioner has to say before you tell us how you feel about what he has to say. So is there anybody that wants to talk tonight? Okay, good, thank you. Well, I guess if that's it, we'll close the hearing for this evening and proceed again on January 26th at 6 p.m. in this room. Thank you. We use the same exhibits or any others that you have. We're off the record.